do you know? What do you know? We done made it. We done made it. We almost there. Mars in partner's 11th house Synastry. So this is the thing. Mars does rather well in this house. Mars does well in the 11th house. This is just like what you would call the true road dogs. Like, these two, they just go together. There is this running theme of being together, but not being together. Being in a relationship or liking each other a lot, because these two might often refer to their relationship or the relating between each other, like, oh, well, I like you and I like you. Even though there's some distance there. Because the liking part really eliminates or cuts down on a lot of the emotional aspects that could play out, between lovers. And this is why people would not really deem Mars in the 11th house as romantic, like something that you would see in a normal romantic relationship, although it can be, the way that we're describing relationships these days, how they work, how they function, is changing. It has changed. So Mars in the 11th house Synastry can be one of those ideal couples. But like I said, it can almost come off to people like they're friends. Like, people will see them and think, oh, are you a couple, or are you guys together? You guys seem like you're together. Or maybe you guys should be together. You should be together because you seem very compatible, like you're good friends. And they could actually respond to people like, oh no, us together? Like, oh, we're just good friends. Okay, so this could be a Synastry aspect between two people, to where, while there are feelings here, it's not pursued necessarily in a romantic way, like it's just a bunch of flowers being brought. It's just a romantic whisperings and romantic nothings all the time. Like, as a matter of fact, you may see more of that interaction take place when they're actually making love, when they're actually physically together, sexually together, more than not. But there is this closeness here, and it's crazy because and even though there's differences, or a distance between these two, there's a closeness as well. This particular Synastry aspect has the ability to really make it over time. Like, these two can be together, break up, watch each other get with other individuals, other people in other relationships, even have children if they don't have them themselves. Because remember, there's other Synastry aspects that you have to take into consideration. But these two can do that and still be friends, or still keep in touch with each other. Or when they get out of said relationships, they come back together. Like, it's easy to be with each other because of the fact that there is a lack of judgment between each other. But what happens is, because of people's needs sometimes to feel a more emotional connection with their lover, to where it's like feelings involved, people can actually shy away from this Synastry or deem it as we're just friends. Okay, this is also the Synastry aspect where you can see both individuals claiming the friends with benefits aspect. It's easy for them, or even having an open relationship. Now, I'm not saying that this will always take place, but there's a very big chance. And these two give room and distance to each other, like give room, and could be operate in a very detached manner. Now, if there's other Synastry aspects at play, this could be a highly romantic, close relationship between two people. Now, if there's actual physical distance between each other, you might see them traveling to go and be with each other or interact with each other. But there may be things in between each other, like things that's taking place, other situations, other experiences that's taking place between the two, to where it kind of takes one person away or the other person, or like they don't get to spend as much time as they would like together. but you can also find that they do things, a lot of things together. Because remember, I can't, it's very hard for me to touch on everything in one video. And I'm not even trying to do it, but I try to touch on different aspects to where I can pretty much cover as many people and couples as possible. Because just because these two are together doesn't mean that they are going to be distance in between each other, and it's not going to be romantic. You have to understand that. But these two can be very good friends. As a matter of fact, this could be the aspect amongst the Synastry that keeps them together for a long time, because they are friends first. They can be friends. And the Mars person, when it touches the person's the 11th house person, the 11th house person could want to be more present online. They can meet each other on dating sites too, or just like doing things online, or traveling. I know that this is not the house of traveling, but where there's distance involved, it could possibly be that. Or through mutual friends, outings and going around doing different things with mutual friends, a mutual friend setting. But needless to say, these two can be very passionate towards each other as well. They usually like to frequent the same places, their interests there. But when the Mars person hits the 11th house person, I forgot, guys, what I was saying. The 11th house person can experience themselves opening up to being more open-minded, open-minded in life, towards their endeavors, but towards the Mars person as well, like giving the Mars person space and distance. And there's a certain amount of trust though that has to be built here first. And the Mars person could really like being around the 11th house person, because they feel like the 11th house person doesn't try to hold them back. They can influence each other quite a bit. Listen, if you have this Synastry, or you can find this Synastry amongst individuals, like partners, relationship partners that do online stuff together, to where like they're interacting online, pursuing things, like actually making money. Now you can see Mercury here too, but I didn't get to that yet. They can do things like in business together as well, like online, because we have to think more like being in the future. We have to think more technology, and it's not limited to that. But these two can really be good friends, like great friends. I haven't really said anything negative about this, except for the fact it just depends on what sign Mars is in, as well, and like what sign is in the 11th house. That can determine whether this Synastry could work and be beneficial. But it can take a rather heavy chart and make it light, and make it be able to overcome difficult aspects or harsh aspects to the Synastry. Like they can easily, or they're able to work past things that maybe limit other people, to where there's like, okay, well, this is an automatic deal breaker if your feet stink or something like that. These two can make it past that. We usually get Synastry aspects with Saturn that sticks people together, but people underestimate the value of really good friends. Now, I will say this, with 11th house being ruled by Uranus, there could be this coming together, going apart, coming together, like random starts to the relationship. And I feel like with that, what can help is giving each other space, but incorporating things, activities, scheduling with each other, to where you're finding yourselves around each other more, and doing things both people want to do at times to help keep this together, not letting the energy that can surround you take you guys apart from each other. But when you gotta let a person go, you gotta let them go. When you gotta let them roam, you gotta let them roam. What can I say? Because each time we're meeting somebody, it's really showing us, aspects of ourselves that, and just life and experience that we're here to experience, and the lessons that we're here to learn. So a lot of times when we have Synastry aspects that hits the 9th through 12th house, it takes on like these more lessons, personal lessons versus personal, relationships with other people, to the point where you're just with the person forever and things of that nature. Now, that doesn't mean that you cannot be, but each isolated event is an isolated event. All right. So this is Mars in the 11th house Synastry. I'm butterflies of light. And so you know what you need to do, because you need to come back, because I'm going to be back, and all these good things. And okay. Till next time.